Guys, happy Monday. What is good? I mean, I have a guest that is the guru who invented the ticket queue, which we're going to get to in a second, Matt King. But before we get into this amazing episode on a Monday, I mean, I'm ready to have my popcorn ready to listen to Matt myself. Where is my popcorn bag? We got TicketCon 2026 coming July 26th in New Orleans. I mean, I think we should bring Matt King in, inventor of the queue. I mean, how appropriate would that be? Contemporary Yard Center right before the WTC. Buy your tickets. Link is in my bio for tickets on either of my X pages. But Matt, welcome to the show, man. It is so great to have you on.
Hi there. How's it going?
Great. So, man, let's just. I mean, you're I mean, I spoke to Tommy D. He's one of the best to ever do it. He's obviously challenging Ticketmaster to a 16-year battle. I think you went through a similar stance with the patent and the creation of the queue, the virtual waiting room. But just kind of let's talk about how you invented the first queue and waiting room ever in ticketing.
So I was trying to buy tickets for the Glastonbury Festival here in the UK. I expect your viewers are aware that it's the largest music festival here in the UK, and this was back in 2004, and it was really the first large online ticket sale that had been done in the UK. Hitherto, tickets had been distributed through small record shops, for example, for Glastonbury. And we had 400,000 people chasing 100,000 tickets. And of course, their servers fell over. It made the national TV news here in the UK, the BBC News that day, because we were stuck till about 4 o'clock in the morning, just hitting refresh, 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 trying to get through to this website to buy tickets. And it got to about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way of doing this. And I had a background in web tech. So I thought, well, what we need here is a queue, and it would take people in as fast as they arrive at the back and feed people through at a rate they control to the protected site, so they can buy their tickets, and it would all be nice and secure, so people couldn't jump the queue. So I thought, well, that's a jolly good idea. So I rushed out and started a company and filed the patents, and here I am, 22 years later.
Wow. Absolutely impressive. And I don't know if you watched our content in the past. We're full of hot takes here with Ticket Talk, and in the past here with Scott's takes and so forth. So I think the entire universe in ticketing and live events and fans want to know, how is your place in a queue, whether it's on Ticketmaster or any other ticket system, determined? Is it random? Is it assigned? What is the deal?
Well, I can't speak to some of the other providers that are out there, but I can tell you the way it's supposed to work, which is you would first get to a pre-sale page, we call it, which is the page that you see before the tickets go on sale. That normally has a countdown clock on it that counts down until the magic moment is open. And then it's normal for, or certainly we recommend, that as all those people join from that pre-sale page at the moment the tickets go on sale, you give them a random queue position. Just those people joining from pre-sale in the first minute. And the reason that it's random is because it's fair. It is a good way of stopping scalpers and touts from getting all the tickets, which they would otherwise gain advantage by showing up early if you didn't do it that way from the pre-sale page. But then once the queue is opened, if somebody arrives too late to see the pre-sale page, you put them in first come first served order, but behind everybody from pre-sale, so it's all completely fair. So that's certainly the way that we do it.
So that's obviously you do it the honest way, Matt, and we appreciate that's how it should be. But let's just, I mean, obviously, I know that you're not working for a Ticketmaster per se, but do they have the ability to manipulate the queue, whether it's me coming in for a on sale for Taylor Swift or a ticket reseller? Can they manipulate of how the queue actually works and kind of essentially rig it to favor somebody over somebody else?
Well, the reality of the situation is that anything can be done in software. So if they had set their mind to do something like that, yes, you could write software to do that. Whether they've actually done that or not is a different question. And I only have anecdotal, not even evidence, just reports of people, for example, repeatedly getting uh, 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 low queue positions near the front of the queue again and again and again on certain accounts. I have no way of verifying that information. That's just stuff I've seen online. So there we go. Certainly, in theory, you could write software that could do that. Whether they're actually doing it or not is a different question.
Got it. Makes sense. And obviously going into the hot question of in the States, the last 10, 20 years, bots have obviously getting through the queues, been able to get the best tickets for the major outlier events that happen here in the States every single day, every single tour. Obviously, Ticketmaster is saying they're doing all they can to combat it, but they don't have a perfect mechanism to stop the bots. And they say that it's so tough. The bots are so strong. They get over verified, the queues, the software. Essentially, is there a way, Matt, to stop bots from not entering the queue and not getting tickets? Is it?
Yeah. So naturally, we do queues for lots of ticket launches ourselves. And yes, we do see bots target the ticket sales. There are things you can do with rate limiting and IP addresses, but bot operators these days, they're starting to switch over to network bots where they make a few requests, but from a large number of IP addresses. Those are more difficult to spot. And we're also seeing a rise in AI-driven bots, which essentially are making the same requests that a human using a regular browser would make of the queue. And normally the aim for these kinds of bots is twofold. First of all, to try and get lots of positions in the queue in the hope of getting a good one close to the front when the pre-sale switches through to the queue being open and the tickets go on sale, and that way essentially drown out the human visitors who've just got one browser window open on the screen. And then the other sort of attack that we see is once that somebody has got to the front of the queue, one of these bots is programmed to then buy up all the stock. So that the second one of those is actually quite easy. We provide tools that mean that once you've got to the front of the queue, once you've bought, if you try to buy again, you find yourself at the back of the queue. And many of our ticketing providers implement that. For trying to block people, bots from joining the queue, afterwards you can try and eject them from the queue, but by that point they've already consumed a queue position. People will see on their screens that there's a million people in front of them. Even if 900,000 of those are bots that are blocked later, they're still going to see that high number. It's much better to stop the bots from joining the queue at all. We offer a range of features for that, but most of the other providers are engaged in essentially in an arms race with the bot operators. They're upgrading their systems to try and weed out these bots, and the bots are becoming more sophisticated in advance. So what we would normally recommend is that ticket providers skip that arms race and just go straight to the end game and win it. And that's really our model.
So your market word is so if Ticketmaster signed you tomorrow and Michael Rapino said, Matt, let's just axe out all the bots. Do you think you can get 100% of the bots out of the Ticketmaster queues and on sales?
Yeah, it's actually not that hard. What you need to do is you need to start tying it so that it's one queue position per real verified human being. So then even if somebody is using a whole raft of bots to try and get a whole bunch of queue positions, they only get one queue position. That's the easy way to do it. And there isn't a bot that can beat that. It does require that you have some sort of ID verification that this is a real human being in order to generate, we call it a join token, the token that you need to join the queue, which we make sure is single use on our sites that use this feature. So each person that has one of these join tokens, an invitation token, if you like, can only join once. And you've got to make sure that the same person can't get more than one of those.
So let me get this straight here. So obviously, it makes perfect logic sense. You upload your ID. You can't just have thousands of alias Ticketmaster accounts. Is there a way that these bad actors, these bots, can manipulate the IDs, make them fake, and still get through, or is the software just able to can, able to detect
So
IDs?
so there's multiple ways of trying to tie a queue position to a real person. You can use things like face identification. So you might have seen this on some sites where you peer into the camera and tilt your head from side to side. Those are actually pretty good at recognizing the same person and giving you a single unique identifier for that person that's also anonymous. So nothing else about that person can be received. You don't get any information about their face. You just get a long string of letters and numbers, random looking, that ties uniquely to that person. So you don't necessarily need to upload ID at all. It can be done by a face ID, and we've got partners that we partner with to do that. You can do it with things like credit card numbers. It's far harder for a scalper to get thousands of credit card numbers than it is for a scalper to launch thousands of bots. So long as you have it end to end, such that the same credit card number that you entered in order to get your invitation is the same one that's used to complete a purchase at the end of the process, then that works very well too. Delivery address is another one of those things that you can key off a real human identity.
Very, very interesting there. So we think that obviously, and it comes to mind to me is that if we went on our phones and we're facial recognition for every time we log on TM, that would pretty much say, look, bots, you can't get in. You have to be a real human being, and there's no way to manipulate the system.
So yeah, I mean the facial recognition that turns on your phone isn't tied into the website sitting behind that, but that's a technology that's evolving too. The key thing is to make sure that you do get a unique identifier for each individual human being that doesn't necessarily have to be traced back to their name or their address or any of their personal identity. It just has to be specific to you.
Got it. So do you think like overall, like, and you're giving us some great information here to the viewers and fans around the world watching the Ticket Talk Network here on this fabulous Monday morning here in the States, that do you think essentially Ticketmaster, other companies are not doing enough to stop bots?
I mean, it really depends on the company. Here at QFair, which is the ticketing the queue system that we provide, we do a consultation with our new ticketing clients. We run them through the available anti-bot and security features that we have. We do enable some of those by default. Some of those do require a little bit of work at the ticketing provider's side as well, just to give the end-to-end security. And not all ticketing providers do end up doing that work, and some of them will say, well, there's an acceptable amount of bot use on this particular queue, or because of the nature of this particular event, we're really not expecting it to be targeted by scalpers and touts. Really, it's only the kinds of events where you get tickets on the secondary market that tend to be targeted by the scalpers and touts, in our experience.
Absolutely, and no doubt. And talking to my man Tommy D, obviously he's been fighting Live Nation for 16 years. Obviously, with your patent, the inventor, the creator of the queue, you've obviously gone through legal battles trying to protect your patent, your invention yourself. So, what's new with that on the legal front?
So we don't have any I can't comment on any lawsuits in the past. We don't have any in progress at the moment. But yeah, it's not a pleasant thing to go through for any inventor. I can certainly tell you that.
I definitely get that. Never fun battling the legal system at all. So, like, if you were just kind of like the in the pod, like say if Michael Rapino and Somel and the big executives brought you on at Ticketmaster to handle the waiting room, the queues, obviously you're the original OG, you handle it. What would be the first thing you would do on day
I
one?
would I would take a look at their existing bot mitigation setup. That would be the number one thing that I would do. I do see a lot of reports of report of sales that have been heavily targeted by bots that have been ruined and produce a lot of negative feedback. And I would get into the nitty gritty of that and explain what they actually need to do right away.
Amazing, man. And any other like closing thoughts? Obviously, a banger year. The FIFA World Cup's going on here in the States and Mexico and Canada in 2026. What are your final thoughts on like the state of live events and ticketing happening around the world?
I think ticketing is a growth industry all around the world. But I think that ticketing companies do need to pay more attention across the board to misuse of their systems. Traditionally, they've come to us because they just don't want their site to crash. They don't want that refresh hell that I was in with the Glastonbury Festival so long ago. But fan fairness is important. It does matter, and we'd like to see more of them adopting the raft of security features that we offer here at QFair.
Amazing, man. Well, thank you so much. I mean, definitely let's plug QFan Matt King, the original OG, the creator of the virtual waiting room and the queue. You can find Matthew King on LinkedIn. Matt, we're going to definitely stay in touch, and we want to bring you on future segments of Ticket Talk to go over some on sales and queues and so forth. And we thank you so much for coming on. Matthew King, a legend, the creator of the queue and the virtual waiting room. Have a great Monday, guys. Talk soon, Matt.
Bye for now.